Welcome to the next part of my Verdant Wind Path walkthrough. We're going to go over the Enbarr Infiltration battle.
There it is.
I'm going to skip that cutscene.
Thank you.
Here we start deviating from probably some of the other battles that you've been seeing. You probably got that from taking Fort Mercius, in which it was a bit different from the other paths.
Thank you so much.
And now we're on a completely original path.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Let's just let this loading screen finish loading.
I am ever so grateful.
Alright. Now make sure your units are properly equipped. You get to bring 11 people. And what this means is you want to make sure everyone who's brought along is well supported. You have one half of your units there and another half on this part of the map. There's a couple of enemy commanders here, and the Death Knight, who has got increasingly more powerful since you last fought him. As well as, oh, here we go, Hubert, who's not as strong as the Death Knight, but still pretty powerful. He's got some powerful dark magic. Agnia's arrow is going to really hurt, though it's not the most accurate. Black magic spell. Bolting allows him to pretty much shoot at range. Well, Miasma is his typical basic dark magic, and he's going to have a lot of that. So if I was to select Hubert and check his range, you'll see that it's this giant zone. Anyway, let's get started. Victory condition, defeat all enemy commanders, so everybody with a yellow badge.
We were told Hubert would be leading the enemy. We'll have to take care of both. We'll have to split up and take them on at the same time.
It's here! The crest of uninvited guest. Ready the art. Rocks, arrows, magic. Rain reinforcements will fly.
Basically, anything that you see in those blue squares is going to be any sort of ranged weapon used against you. For example, this square is an onager, while that square is a ballista, and this square is a fire orb. But this is really all about speed. You have to take down the Death Knight and Hubert. Now, since Claude is a flyer, he's probably going to make it to Hubert the fastest, because, well, Hubert's got a lot of, shall I say, natural background protecting him? Because these edifices prevent a full-on charge unless you're a flyer. Anyway, let's proceed. As always, be mindful of an enemy's attack zone, but you're going to be right in it the moment you start. So, not really much you can do there.
This could turn the tides.
At the ready.
Shall we?
If you want to make things safer, take out the oops. Keep your units mounted. Have your strongest units up first, and your spellcasters
Let's make this quick.
towards the rear. Even though my characters are over leveled, you really don't want to overextend for this map. Same thing here.
Shall we?
We'll need to take out that Fortress Knight with some magic.
A noble.
Onward. Child's play.
Ready when you are.
Ingrid's just out of range of that archer. Leonie's gonna charge and
Steady
stay
now.
right there to protect Ingrid from being shot at.
I wasn't about to let you go. I got
I've just taken down that ballista. The Onager will still fire at me, but at least I'm relatively protected, and that's the important part.
Can't afford to slack off.
I've upgraded everybody's weapons to silver weapons just for this mission because, well, we're really going to need the extra offense if I'm going to speed through this as quickly as possible. But really, if you're taking your time, reinforcements will appear. That's an inevitable fact. But, having said that, your main priority is just to take down
I aim for greatness.
those light blue squares, which indicate, obviously, weapons, and then commandeer those weapons for your own use. Or just ignore them.
You did it.
Now you might think, well, can't you take out Hubert from this direction? And you'd actually be correct, but unfortunately he's surrounded. So you're gonna have to take the other units out near him
A bit.
to avoid, well, getting surrounded. If you need to reunite your units early, fight your way up to this bridge and meet in the center. Now then, I'm actually going to have Raphael take care of this, let's say, Paladin,
Can't afford to lose.
Amazing.
while I am actually going to have Byleth go around and take care of the Death Knight. Now, Byleth is at a point where, if I had to take him on right now, it could easily be done. But if you want tips on taking out the Death Knight, keep in mind that the Death Knight can attack you from range, but you'll see all that square is the Death Knight. But long range attacks and really just physical attacks are just your best shot. Combat arts, gambits, throw them all the Death Knight if you want to get it taken down. Bringing out the Sword of the Creator is also not a bad idea, because the Sword of the Creator really shines
Okay.
when Byleth is, well,
We are taking heavy loss.
when Byleth is using it. Sorry, I just had to let that conversation pass, or it would not have made a lick of sense. This bird is not weak to anything. I'm gonna smash open that, bird's defenses. Move up. Go in with Marianne. Not Nosferatu, that's too extensive. Break that bird. Come in with Lysithea. Powerful blow, which Claude will follow up
Sorry,
with.
but I must.
You're amazing.
And now Claude will begin to advance. Now, if I wanted to go through this way, it'd be a bit more difficult because reinforcements will come in. Yep, Builder's taking a bit of damage from that. Now, Lysithea, if you wanted to really cheat your way through, can warp Byleth past, and Byleth can then make his way. Or if you're willing to wait and advance a little bit, let's just take care of that monster first before I do this explanation. If you're willing to advance a little first, Byleth can then just warp straight to Hubert and you finished the mission.
Sorry, but it's you or me. Goddess, forgive me.
We're all desperate, aren't we? Seem
Now, I'm just going to pull back Ingrid. I don't really need to take on anyone at this point because, well, they won't really reach me. Which means I can now focus on this part of the map. Although you have to be careful that there are enemies here. I could just go to this part of the map.
I took care of it.
And start wreaking havoc once I get out here. I'm not going to have Flame move on her own, because that's too dangerous.
Our first wave of reinforcements is here.
reinforcements? We'll have to capture the artillery.
Nice try.
Yes, as Claude has mentioned, reinforcements will keep coming for Hubert, so you don't want to drag this out if you can help it.
Won't be in vain.
Because if you drag this out, it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to eventually counter. Lucky for me, I can just warp Byleth, bypass a good chunk of those defenses, and end the battle right there and then. Won't be that simple, unfortunately, because some of you can see, Hubert's got some pretty powerful defense, but I can just hope for a lucky crit and then end Hubert right there. But remember, as this mission is all about killing the Death Knight and Hubert as quickly as possible, sometimes warping to Hubert after you defeated the Death Knight is much more preferable. And you'll definitely have Lysithea for this, but if she's incapacitated for some reason, Linhardt and Manuela also have warp.
I should have disposed. I will.
Am I lucky? Am I lucky? I am lucky.
We mustn't place our fate.
Well done, everyone. Now we can break. We need to hurry up and.
That is the Enbarr Infiltration battle completed. Really, it's just take care of the Death Knight and Hubert, make your way through the units as fast as possible, but also take your time if necessary. But in a rush, throw everything you have at the Death Knight, throw everything you have at Hubert, warp to Hubert if you need to, because the mission ends once both of them are down. That is it for this video walkthrough. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. There will be more videos like this in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.